Yes, Nazir. Let's see here. Let's bring this up. Oh shit. Yeah, it's Nazir. You want to join Discord or something? You want to do it together? I was gonna react to what the Reynard is saying, you know. But yeah. React streamer. We can be together in Discord if you want, and then whenever you want to say something, I'll pause the video. Whenever I say something, I'll pause the video. But yeah, let's try to keep it short, I guess, so we can get through the video. Up to you. I'm fine with either. Let me see. Give it a few minutes for people to trickle in. Within Discord, all right. I'll change my stream title also. Patch review with Nazir. Let me see here. Yo.
Yo.
Damn, that was weird. Suddenly a patch note video out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean it was unexpected. The last time it was like when after the patch, like the servers were down. So
Yeah.
this time kind of early. I mean, got me by surprise to be fair, but
Yeah.
it's a surprise because last time I had like really struggling. I was like maybe 20% into the patch notes, and then the server went live again because it was so much to read through. I mean this time it's a lot less, so wouldn't be that much of a struggle anyway. Still enjoyed to have like technically a lot of time to think about stuff before the servers changing with the patch.
Yeah. I'll put your name on screen here.
To mute myself when the video is pausing, because if I hear myself, I get confused. I cannot hear myself while talking. So I have to mute your stream and then unmute your stream after talking. So yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it might be delayed also. Yeah, I don't know. You figure it out, man.
Yeah, I mean maybe
don't know
it's
if
more
you're
me being quiet and then coming in delayed.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, please make us make sense of the new patch. I was on a 6 trophy streak on companion core in the current patch.
I think this patch will be great. Like it will be. I'm pretty certain I will enjoy this patch quite a bit more.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
will be a good
hopefully.
patch.
Yeah, I haven't seen much, but you've seen some. So actually,
Yeah,
we can talk about that a little bit first before we go through the video, like what you've seen and stuff.
I mean, on the patch notes or
Oh no, I haven't seen the
like
patch. Like, yeah, no, haven't seen
yeah,
anything yet. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm allowed to say it. So yesterday I got like infos from Reynard, and now I have also, same as tajsama, access to the staging server, and I have spent quite a bit of time since yesterday on the staging server already, and therefore I'm a little bit more familiar with what the changes might be in the patch notes.
Yeah.
And I think it will be a good change in general. So I think like what they do is they tune down a little bit on the charging mechanism, revert a little bit of the changes. Like for example, our beloved duct tape is reverted to more or less normal. I don't know, maybe some numbers are different, but in general the function is back to old duct tape, which I like a lot.
Oh shit.
And there's like a lot, so less charging and some X amount of times for skills. So skills will not be as powerful anymore, at least those that were like way too powerful.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
I think it's just like slowing down the meta as well as giving more agency to different builds and players. So in general, I think this will be a good patch.
Yeah, you think it's more like a balance patch instead of a new mechanics patch, kind of?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a balance patch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. All right.
Let's see what Mr. Reynard has to say.
Yeah. Let me see what. Wait, 1 sec. One guy is talking in YouTube chat again. Infinite loop seems to be quite impossible now. Oh, really? Okay, you already read through the stuff, Nikki? Yeah. We'll watch the video though.
It's a short read, to be fair.
Oh, really?
You
Okay.
can it's really short. You can rather easily get the hang of it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's watch the video though. You haven't watched the video,
Yeah.
right?
No.
Okay.
The video's live like 5 minutes. We have talked
Yeah.
since
Yeah.
then. So I have not watched any of the video. I just scrolled through the changes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen anything. So let's do this together. Actually, I wonder if I can like. What if I would stream the video on Discord for you, so it's like more instant for you? I
Maybe
wonder if that
if
works.
you like, maybe you have to make sure you don't loop yourself then on the stream with two audios. I don't know if you can easily set it up. I think that it might
I'll
be the
try and
risk.
see what happens.
Okay. I mean,
See.
I think the risk is just like you have two audio loops then, but I don't know. If you can, that would be amazing, because then I
Yeah.
don't have to mute and unmute stuff, and I can just
Yeah.
like
It will be easier for
game
you.
on the side. I'll be honest, I'm addicted again. I mean, I had like a I don't know, nearly 2 week break now, so I'm happy
Yeah.
to play the game again. I
Wait,
had
can you
with
see my
growing
stream now on
symptoms.
Discord? Then you can like just
Uh,
mute my stream in Twitch.
Wait, it says live, but it's not here now. Watch stream. Yes, I have it.
Okay. Okay, try that, because then okay, I'll
Yep,
see if you hear now when I press play, and then
I hear.
okay. Oh, that's kind of loud. Okay, so when I pause, like this is probably instant for you, right? So that's better.
Yeah. It's
Nice.
perfect.
Nice. Fixed it. All right, let's go through. Beautiful. Yeah, small thing. Yeah, what he means here with the pedestal system is the upgrade screen, right? In like a Forja or something. I
Yeah,
guess.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's pretty nice because you cannot like, if you have like, for example, only like upgrade this
Oh shit.
bronze or silver item.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Wait, you can talk. I just gotta fix some stuff on YouTube. While you
Okay,
talk.
okay.
Yeah.
So if you have like just a upgrade bronze or silver item, sometimes even when I was like a little sleepy, I sometimes didn't move correctly and thought like I can upgrade a golden item and I couldn't upgrade, and then I upgraded something I didn't want to upgrade, and those kind of errors you also will not have anymore. So I think that is a very nice feature, and it's like a lot cleaner and
Yeah.
easier, and I totally agree. Perfect.
All right. Yo, YouTube, can you tell me if you're here now? I'll just go back a little bit so that you know.
Or anything could show you on the tooltip what it's about to turn into, just like it does with, or just like it will.
Hey, did you hear that, YouTube? I don't know if I can fix it on the fly, else I have to go to Twitch, I guess. Fuck.
Listen, go to Twitch.
Oh yeah, they can hear now. Nice.
Okay.
Nice. I just have to remember to fix it back later, else DMCA, man. Let's see. I gotta just make a note past here.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yep. It's here. Fix Chrome audio output. Okay. All right, let's go.
With enchantment screens in the future. I don't think we got that in for this patch though. Gumball Machine encounter, now sports getting 5 gumballs at a time. Yeah, this one,
that's nice.
there's a lot of fan fiction about how Gumball Machine works and what the problem with it is. It's like the truth is we just needed more encounters in the game for a whole bunch of reasons. And we didn't have the technology to do Gumball Machine the way we wanted, because it would have required being able to remember inside the encounter how many gumballs you've already bought. And there wasn't any other encounter that worked exactly that way. So it would have required engineering just for the Gumball Machine encounter, basically. And so we found a way to do it where it's just a bunch of encounters nested inside of each other. So like it's literally 10 different encounters. You know, you buy one, and then it despawns the entire gumball encounter and respawns a new one with the same option to buy a gumball, but one less remaining in the tooltip. And so that's why it's taking a long time. It's not like animations or anything like that. It's just the only way to add it to the game was to have it despawn and respawn the entire option over and over. So we thought we couldn't do selling 5 for that reason. We'd have to like remember inside the encounter how many you'd bought, but I think we found a way to hack this one in. So hopefully that speeds it up a bit, just being able to buy 5 at a time now.
That's really nice.
Yeah, when you're buying them individually, it's still slower than we want, but it's just not the kind of effect that's used enough to prioritize over other things right now. So we'll get to it.
So kind of
when we can,
interesting
hopefully.
to get the knowledge.
Fixed an issue where Pearl's dig site was appearing in the wrong slot during hourly selection. Bug fix on Sylvia. We nerfed Lich a little bit. This guy was like literally unbeatable. He's a little more in line with Infernal and other hard monsters on his day.
Nice.
Should still be basically the hardest monster. Just a little more beatable on occasion now. We had to remove Thieves Guild Medallion and Genie Lamp. There were some bugs with
1 sec on this one. Removed improved toxins. What is that one?
I don't know, to be fair.
Chat, help us. Yeah, we can probably kind of understand how much weaker Lich is if we know this skill. Yeah,
I don't know which rarity he had. It's like plus poison, +2, +4, +6. I don't know if it was a silver or gold skill. I would wager it's +4, +6 poison on his items.
Wait. There's 2 different answers in Twitch chat. Your poison items have 2, 4, 6, 8 poison, or every time you poison, you get 1 crit. Your poison items have 4 poison. Okay. That. All right. Okay, 4 poison. All right. Well, I guess a lot less poison, but I think the thing that poisoned a lot now in this patch, Lich patch, like current right now, is like the ring. You know, what is that called? Poison ring something. Like that dealt the biggest.
Yeah, but I also think like the amount of health is kind of significant, because it was always like you obviously still play only Lich if you're like really strong. It's still like a tough encounter, so you have to be like on a high roll run kinda. But it was always like 1 or 2 ticks away, right? And there was like always like small difference in health pool from Lich into you. So I think like the 400 there will make the difference.
Yeah.
I think it's just like the health especially, and then if you also take a little bit less damage, it would be significant. Like imagine how often you had like Lich to 600 or 700 health, and I think there's this amount with the skill involved what you have now to achieve, and that is rather reasonable in a strong run.
Yeah. All right.
With how selling it worked, we're going to have lots of effects like this that inject an encounter into your run.
You're gonna remove those?
But there's gonna be a more elegant way to do that with its own visual treatment in the near future here. So
it's just like temporary.
Yeah.
But it makes bonk like a little bit worse.
Yeah.
Like the Thug encounter. Thug just got like one less good drop.
Yeah. I like those, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's still
a real implementation for these kinds of effects. We're just taking them out right now to avoid some bugs. It was the least painful trade-off.
Do you know the bugs he's talking about? Like issues and bugs with that?
I think it is the spawning and despawning of your encounters. You can just manipulate encounters.
Like reroll encounters, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. I think that is one of the bugs he might refer to. As well as you have like 1 extra encounter in if you do it correctly. So
yeah,
that's also I don't know. I think those were 2 inconsistencies they don't want to have, and that is probably. I mean, maybe there was other issues I don't know of, but I think this is already kind of like a buggy thing where they don't like it, that you can reroll encounters just for free, and yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, let's go Vanessa.
A bunch of Vanessa item changes.
Yeah, let's see here.
So we made this sweeping change with a bunch of passive effects last patch to let them charge instead. And it had a bunch of benefits. For example, it made a lot of passives way more balanceable. It made the upgrades between the tiers feel pretty good and powerful. It let them be more interactable, the cards that work this way, compared to when they didn't have a cooldown. Now they can be slowed and hasted, and they could crit, and they could be frozen. Everything suddenly affected them. So there were a bunch of good things that came out of that. The reality is, though, we didn't want to do it for literally every item in the game. There were some where moving to that kind of change just felt off with the identity of the card. Even though it helped us address things balance-wise easier, it also kind of solved one of the less important problems, which is balance with complexity, which is like the worst way to solve things. Like we basically doubled the amount of words on a bunch of cards, and if there's more than like 8 words, people's eyes are just going to glaze over. They're not going to read it. So that's part of the issue with it. And even on the balance front, where in the long run this would be helpful. There were a bunch of items that listened to items being used, and now way more item uses were triggering. So this incidentally made a whole bunch of items like that way better, as well as making it easier to loop, although I think that was one of the less egregious issues with this. So yeah, basically we're going to revert the change on a handful of these items where them having a passive just feels fine, or like the better design for it. We are going to keep the changes in some of these items that we did that too, where we let them self-charge, but we're going to keep the charge amount flat between tiers. We tried letting the charge amount increase so the upgrades felt good, but it's a little too much on certain effects. You just can't have them charging 2 or 3 And you could tweak the numbers so they're balanced at the high charge amounts, but then they're unplayable at the lower tiers. So yeah, basically this is one of the bigger changes. Is just reverting on a handful of cards, some of the changes from last week, but also just flattening the charge amounts, I think, will go a long way. So
All right. Yeah, it looks like he instead of going charge up, it's like cooldown down, right? When you upgrade.
It's basically like, at least on a handful of items, like
Yeah.
reverting stuff. And I think like it's good. It was like a little bit too dominant with the charging, and now they I mean, I don't know if this is now the sweet spot, and maybe some items can also again get increased on the charging, but it's less loopy, and also the power level is not as much increasing kinda when you level up, which means it's not as important that you level up to
Upgrade.
get the full so upgrade is not as important. And I think that's pretty, like, in general, I think this is a good change.
Yeah.
Healthy one.
Yeah. It's like before it was totally useless to upgrade. And this patch, it's like super important to upgrade. And then now they go into a middle ground where upgrading is quite good because the cooldown is going down, right? So Astrolabe on 6 seconds instead of 6 seconds or 4 seconds. Like, it's quite a huge difference, right? On the cooldown. If you're gonna use the item, that is. I don't know if it's bad or good now. We'll see. Yeah. So that's cool.
Outside of that, balance-wise, one of the changes we're trying in this patch is increasing the power level of bronze items. Like, it used to be the case that, if a bronze item did 1, the diamond version of that item would do like 4. The diamonds were like 4 times as high in terms of scaling and flat output and everything. We're trying something closer to like 1 to 3. So the power level of the bronze items are stronger. We really bumped the numbers on some of them, and so hopefully this will make early game items feel like more reasonable choices, but we'll see if we overdid it. This runs the risk of like the upgrades feeling weaker between tiers, but overall that's less important than bronze items feeling like usable. So we'll try this out. I think it's a change. It should play well. So but yeah, changing to Astrolabe, Barrel, Blowgun. This is something we were avoiding before, this Blowgun type of scaling. This is why it was only Diamond tier before. We didn't really want to change the cooldown of items between tiers, because the cooldown of it felt pretty tied into that item's identity. Now, we still had some exceptions where we did that, because it was kind of like the only reasonable thing you could do, like Harpoon and stuff. And so we're going to do it in a few places where it makes sense. Where it's just the most reasonable thing to scale between tiers. And this should hopefully let us downshift the rarity of some of these items, like in Blowgun's case, which now makes it available at gold. It increases the pool of items earlier in the game. There's more variety earlier in the game and what you can see and draft from. So should hopefully be a positive change overall. Let's see, a buff to Chum. We're introducing the tech type on this patch.
Yeah, one sec. He just glazed over the Chum upgrade. Let me see. Our bucket, man, now gives you aquatic items. That's a lot.
Yeah, but it's still like kind of slow.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like, it's still like a very, like, just in comparison, it is a very, very slow crescendo. I mean, obviously it's a little bit different, but like, just like to get an intuition about how long it will still take to have like a very reasonable amount of crit, which means you always crit, or like crit really often.
Yeah. I think usually this Chum thingy here, like, I have it on the board in the beginning when you have nothing else, you just want to fill up. And now it actually does something though in the beginning, because fights in the beginning are really long, right? Like the first days. So
wait until you see the full patch notes.
Okay. Okay, maybe they suck. maybe it's gonna be first.
It's just like they like he said in the beginning, he increased the power level of the
The bronze.
items of bronze and silver
Yeah.
items quite a bit. So now you have like 60 damage bronze items, kinda,
Okay.
or whatever, or like 40 damage. You know, so that is hugely different from what we had before.
Yeah, okay. All right, we'll continue. Pick type.
This is a prelude to some more synergy. You're going to see, in general, just tag creep throughout the game. You know, we want to strike a balance with tags where we're not picking some that are so niche that, like, super few items use it unless that's intended. Like, some are intentionally rare, like dinosaur or whatever. But for the most part, we only want to introduce a type when it's unambiguous. What is that type, and when we can use it enough that we can key certain effects off of it. So tech felt like a good fit. That'll fit a whole swath of items, unduly especially, but every hero will have some. And so we're looking at some other ones like apparel and some other ones as well. So I think Pygmalion will benefit a lot from these changes and how he plays in the long run. Not necessarily the stuff in this patch, but the tag plans moving forward. So some of that's waiting on new tech on our side too, pun intended. So yep, we got the tech type going in on silencer, some balance changes. We've got some new enchantment fixes and updated designs going into this patch. As always, enchantments are just going to be this ongoing effort, so you guys should see, like, pretty much every patch should have some enchantment changes for the foreseeable future. Trebuchet, like the bronze, it had the right cooldown at bronze, but not the other tiers. So fixing that, fixing some enchanted versions of eels. I thought we already did this one. Maybe we forgot. Who knows? That's in there now. So cannonade, we're not gonna scale the charge, but we're gonna keep it at a flat 2 seconds, buffing the damage a little bit to compensate.
Yo, cannonade is gold now, huh? Gold.
Yeah.
You started gold, yeah. I mean, I don't know how good that is anymore.
Hopefully that plays well. So, some things will still have scaling charge, but not Captain's Wheel anymore. So it's just going to be a flat reduction. We got catfish, dock lines. We're trying to remove some bronze items. Catfish.
I want to look at Captain's Wheel there. So the haste goes up, and also when you use a vehicle, Lush charge this. Okay. All right, charge and haste goes up.
No. The charge is not in there. It's just like from.
Okay.
It's just like you reduce the cooldown
true.
by 50% as long as you have a vehicle or a large item, which means you have a large item probably. It's more likely, I think.
Okay,
but like,
they removed that.
So that is what changing. And then it's like I thought like it like so I think it looks strong. And it is strong. Like Captain Wheels is like a real hitter. Just like remember, like looking
2 seconds.
Like it's a 4 second item, right? So 50% reduction is like 2 seconds, I think.
Yeah.
Or
and then
if I'm not completely off here.
1 second. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then you haste like your adjacent items for 2 seconds or 3 seconds. So you get like perma haste on your adjacent items, kinda.
Yeah.
And for a second, I thought this is like really strong, and then I remembered Dooley has a metronome, and I was like, okay, it's fair. It is a medium item. It is fair.
Yeah, like this one is gonna get used a lot. I don't know if that will matter this patch though, but yeah, that's an item that gets used quite a lot.
It's a good item. It's a good item, I think.
Fish, dock lines. We're trying to remove some bronze items that just didn't make the scaling on them just didn't make sense. It's like dock lines at bronze only hit 1 item, and just there wasn't much reason to ever take it. So just removing it from the pool altogether
that's cool.
Without changing the power of the other tiers makes the most sense there.
They're actually going in on the balance right now. Like this thing here, dock lines, removing it on bronze, like the way he talked about it, like they actually care now. I think
Yeah,
that's good.
this is
Yeah,
a balance patch, and it's
yeah,
a really good one by the by my estimation.
yeah. That's crazy.
Incendiary rounds has been reverted, more flavorful the old way as well.
Yeah, that's
Trying
cool.
to buff javelin a little bit. We'll see if it's enough. I'd be surprised, but
Fucking javelin, dude.
we'll try to change the outliers as we do every patch. Some tech types getting added. Pearl's always going to be charging 1 now. Hopefully that's more in line. Pufferfish, another one of those, getting hit with a flat second. Well, one day there will be a patch where we don't change this card, but
Fucking
today's not
puffer,
that
man.
day.
Poor puffer.
Trying a new ramrod design, so it makes more sense hopefully in some builds. We'll see how that one plays. Interested in feedback.
Wait, what? Huh? Ramrod, 8-second cooldown from 4 sec. Isn't it the other way around? Wait, wasn't it 8 seconds already? Oh,
I have to tell you, I'm not like too familiar with all the.
yeah, I think
And the-
Ramrod was like 8-second 8 or 7-second cooldown or something like that, and then you haste and reload your items. It was not
Yeah,
4
it's-
sequends at least.
No,
Yeah, it
it's
was
8
8, yeah.
seconds here. Yeah, it's 8 seconds on the bazaar. How
So-
Bazaar website.
So it's 4 now, or what are they? Maybe. Yeah, maybe they mixed it up. Maybe it's if it goes down to 4, it's actually good. Like maybe not good, but it's much better.
No,
than
it's
before.
still 8. I think it's just like I don't know. Maybe they had an internal version before that is 4 second. I think it stays on 8 seconds.
Okay. Your ammo items have crit chance. Wait, have is not an active thing, right? Should be gain or something.
I mean, it can be
I
like
don't know.
figurine head
Yeah,
or
I'm not
like
sure.
other passives.
Yeah, it's either a passive or it's an active. I'm not sure here. It reads like a passive. When one of your items run out of ammo, charge this 1 second. Cool. Reload adjacent. Okay. It's really, they really changed it. That's cool.
Interested in feedback. Trebuchet's also doing flat charge as well now. Really want to avoid.
Okay, Treb. Wait, Treb. Hey, Treb is shit now.
Yeah, that is like I wouldn't say shit, but it needs a lot of setup, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's definitely weaker.
Yeah. It's
and,
10 seconds now too. Yeah, instead of 8.
Yeah, like how should I say it? I think like especially the issue is it's harder to set up. It's just like very, very slow, especially early. And
Yeah.
then trebuchet is a large item, and you don't have like, especially like in the early days, you don't have like full space to have like 6 other weapons on the board or whatever. And
Yeah.
then it takes forever. And now trebuchet, yeah, it has the issue. It's falling off a little bit, and at least some other items from your opponents will be definitely faster and stronger.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. It looks shit, but I remember thinking that it looked shit before in other patches too, but it was still good. So, like, very good. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we don't want to like eliminate loops altogether. It's intended that you can make looping combos, but with fewer items charging for 4 or whatever, it should be a lot less common. Tripwire, we're going to try moving this effect down to gold tier. We also felt like this one was cleaner with just the passive on it instead of doing the charge thing. So we'll see if this is too good, making that effect available at gold. But we'll give it a try.
I mean, that is kind of
Cool.
good.
Yeah.
And see, turtle shell.
Just to be clear, I mean, it's
Yeah,
very
Numbers
obvious.
getting changed. Charge amount's going to be flat again now. Water wheel, we're trying scaling the cooldown on this one between tiers. Like I said, something we were pretty hesitant to do before. We'd rather scale that than the charge amount here, though. So, or the haste amount. So we'll see how that plays. Let's see, windmill bugged as usual. Hopefully it's all good now. Let's see, a cost bug. The bushel going to be flat charging now. Caltrops. It's not going to be doing the charge thing. This will just be doing damage on passive. So we also moved this down to gold tier. So we'll see if that's making it too accessible. We'll feel that out. Marbles, I think it's going to be cleaner, just slowing.
Caltrops, dude. Well, it depends on if they change crook, I guess. We see crook here.
Yep.
Let's look at crook. It deals 16 damage. Yeah. Your medium items have... Okay, crook is fucked. That's so little now. Oh my god, it's almost half damage at diamond, yeah. That's crazy. Or crook.
The one item, so it's not creating infinite slow triggers. It's also going to have flat charge, and I believe it doesn't say here, but I think the cooldown also went down to 3 from 4. So hopefully that's that plays better. It's cleaner as it reads too.
Rip pig or what?
Okay, matchbox. This one used to just be a passive, but at burn 1, it was really hard to scale because Pig didn't have any burn support by design. We don't want him to in terms of like the color pie. But it made matchbox kind of weird in that it's a product with his face on it. It's clearly one of Pygmalion's entrepreneurial products, his matchbox business. But the item just didn't make sense on its own most of the time, unless you got a ton of burn monster loot somehow. And so I think it having the cooldown is a good change. It lets us sort of dial it in so it's strong in a bunch of his builds and more of a reasonable item. Gives us some other ways to balance it. But yeah, it is more complex. It has a little more text this way. So it's going to be charging just a flat amount now. So we'll see how that plays out. It lets us up the burn more than we otherwise would. Crook, we got to hit this one again. One item shouldn't just win most of the game for you. We don't want to hit it too hard. This is about a 20% nerf at the first 2 tiers. So it should still be enough that it's a pretty
at the first 2
weapon,
tiers, yeah.
Mid-game.
I was like,
But
wait,
it
24 to 40 is more.
Yeah.
It shouldn't just be like get crook, win game, end of story. So hopefully that's a little bit more in line with where it should be. Model ship, we're gonna keep this one charging. It's gonna be a flat amount though. Fort got a rework. I'm interested to see how this one plays. So it's gonna go up to a 7-second cooldown, and it's gonna shield a bunch. We're gonna have this work more like lethargy, where it's hitting both sides of the board moving forward. So it's going to slow down everyone's cooldowns, but it's going to give multicast to your slow stuff. So we're trying to introduce more incentives to play items with a high cooldown.
Let me see here. Your items with a cooldown of 8 seconds or greater have +1 multicast. Oh, that's really cool. You get like this lethargy, fort. Like it's almost like a totally new way of playing the game. That's cool.
Yeah. I think we have to see how that is like panning out. I have honestly no idea.
Yeah.
And also like Ford is coming in late. You have to put that in consideration. Like I think like this the tough part about Pygmalion is again and especially again how to survive in the early and mid game, because if you want to scale, you cannot level, and then you're falling behind on that part. Or you want to scale like your Regal Blade, Beast of Burden, kinda, or your dog, right? And then it's the same issue, and now you don't have like, I mean, you still have the support of Crook, but it's like you have to pivot quite a bit more. So I don't know how that is like actually.
I think. Yeah, if we just think about like what they're trying to do here with Fort, like the design behind it, like what their intention is, it's a really cool playstyle. I think like you have slow items on Pig, right? Let's say like the double whammy and like Beast of Burden and stuff like that. If they gain 1 or 2 seconds, it doesn't matter that much. If an item that is like 3-second cooldown, 2-second cooldown gets 2 seconds extra, it's a double, right?
But, yeah. Like obviously that is like a very nice counter mechanic to like
Yeah.
the dually approach in general. we
Yeah,
had
and
so
then they
far.
get +1 multicast too. So like the Beast of Burden and the double whammy, like all this slow stuff, they get 1 multicast. So this is actually a big thing. That's really cool. Like,
Yeah. I think it is a cool change and a cool approach. So don't get me wrong there. It's just
Yeah.
like I do not see how in the current setup about leveling and meta how Pygmalion is constantly surviving the early game here.
Yeah.
At least if you approach it from a winning perspective. I mean, sure, if
Yeah,
you just
from
like I
yeah.
don't know, say you win your first 5 games and then you're just like going hard. Okay. I mean, that is fun and probably nice to do, but it's not something when you want to win to do.
We might verse this though. Like in top ranks we want to win 10-0, but at well, what is it like when they can find fort? Like sometimes they find it on day 5, But yeah, sometimes we will verse this and we'll get fucked by it. So yeah, I think this one is
Okay, yeah. That is true. I mean, it's still in the game and it's still like kind of a fun mechanic. Don't get me wrong there.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't care about losing the first days, but they care about having this.
Fair. It's just like a little bit my winning mindset. You're correct there, and it's probably fun to play. Like, let's be honest, I think it is fun to play. If you have like reached that point, you feel good.
Yeah.
And it feels good to play.
Yeah. Like imagine like let's say you have a Beast of Burden. It's 10 seconds, right? And then let's say it goes up to 12, but it has multicast, so it's basically a 6-second item, or like it becomes like, in a way like a 6-second item because it hits twice now instead every 12 seconds. So it's like a crazy buff to it. It's like so good, and you make your opponent much weaker than you make yourself weaker. You don't actually make yourself weaker; you make yourself stronger, right? So it's crazy how Fort is really cool now.
Actually, yeah, that is like sure, like a double, like a multicast Beast of Burden is like probably where you should win, right? You should win then after like 2 more seconds because one hitting is a little bit hard, especially if you're not like fully late game. At least like assuming you're not having like your 50,000 Pygmalion opponent, but like your average opponent is like a 1 or 2 hit, and now it's guaranteed 1 hit, and yeah, actually.
Dude, Fort is actually really cool now.
This this is like really nice. Like let's say you set up your Beast of Burden, and you just ignore the leveling part, and then you have just like, I mean, you have the issue you need to find a large gold item, right? So it's still like not something you can do always, I would say. But like you can reroll pull again, so you can actually I think that is fun, and it sounds really strong.
Yeah.
I get the idea. I think like so the approach is more you do not level. You just like take your big Beast of Burden or alternative Regal Blade, and then you just pump in there. You're not leveling, and you hope you find a fort before day 10.
Yeah. I mean that's what people did this patch also. They like all the pigs in the end just did a fort build all the time. So yeah.
Yeah, or caltrops and or crook or crook.
But in the end, like almost no one did the crook stuff. Everyone just did fort. Fort was like dually lizard, like that meta. Like everyone was like talking about fucking lizard everywhere. And this patch, it was like fucking everyone is having fort, So
yeah. I think it's I think it's a good
that's
change.
cool though. I think this is a really cool item. Like that's probably a highlight of this patch. Like that's a cool way of really interesting and exciting way of doing the design, I think. Big plus there. Let's continue.
Because everything else really incentivizes low cooldowns. So this is one of the items that does that more explicitly. It gives them more multicast. We'll see how this one plays. Vineyard Landscraper we also reworked. These are pretty big hits. We'll see if these are good enough. We're going to keep an eye on these effects. Let us know how these play. It's possible we over nerf these, but they have a bunch of dials to make them more reasonable now, and we're not afraid to rework those
Value.
if we have to. So we'll see how those play. Let's see. Some bug fixes with Gumball Machine. Toy is one of those types we've been meaning to add for quite some time. That's going to hit a bunch of items in the game, so keep an eye out for that one.
Oi.
Like if I'm not like completely wrong, I think toys were originally the things you can put like as a design concept you can put on your board as a gimmick, and then you can click like your bubble. What is it? Is it bubble gum? No, like you remember the days
Ah.
where you could put like stuff on the board and you could interact, and I think they were like, if I'm not completely wrong, were like toys. So yeah.
Okay.
Some small ice cream truck number changes. All right, moving on to Dooley.
Small.
So-
one more freeze. 1 second freeze.
Moving on to that one.
Wait, yo. Ice cream truck cooldown to 8. Okay, they nerfed the cooldown, but they upped the freeze. Okay.
Some small ice cream truck number changes. All right,
Dooley.
moving on to Dooley. So
Duct Tape is back.
Sorry, on Pygmalion.
Oh,
for every
baited,
class,
baited.
there's a bunch of changes we want to make, but we're just waiting on tech. So, there's not really going to be a point where these classes are like boom, done, finalized. You guys should see some meaningful changes continually come in. So the bazaar should always stay fresh. Should always be a reason to come back, and you should always be finding stuff for your hero, even if you mostly main one. So, we'll see.
By the way, I think
how
that is
the
good. I
upcoming
think
change-
that they are willing to shake up the meta quite often is a good thing, because that means it is always kind of fresh and new, and not like you have to stay for endless of months on the same patch in general. I think that is a pretty good thing to do. So
me
yeah,
too.
big props to them. And it's like a lot of work for a game studio, right? Just to be clear there. Like the reason why I think at least a decent amount of game studios don't do it, because it's at least some sort of extra work they're doing there.
Yeah. Well, that and like changing up a game a lot could also make it so that a lot of casual players don't want to play the game because they don't have time. Then like every time they play, it's like totally new, and they have to like read everything again and stuff. Yeah. So
I mean, I think as long as they're like not going overboard, and it's like instead of making like big changes, like adding like 5 new characters and 3 new tribes and like a whole new set of like 100 cards, it's just like small changes where like like nitty stuff changing, a little bit stuff is getting toned down, other stuff is getting up. But if the core stays the same, the amount of adaptation for the casuals should not be as much, and therefore the barrier is not as high.
yeah, we'll see what they do. I mean, the PvE, it seems like they're gonna put a lot of time and effort into the PvE mode. So yeah, that might be. I wonder how they're gonna do the balancing there, though, like PvE and PvP. It's gonna be exactly the same and stuff. It's gonna be a lot of work, I think. Yeah, we'll see.
Changes to Pygmalion are going to be received, but that's kind of the plan. All right. So Duct Tape, we're reverting this change. It's super strong to just like spit out an effect on a passive, even if it's like a small amount of shield. But Duct Tape is pretty necessary to Dooley's early game, playing out the way that we want. It's okay for him to do shielding a little better than other heroes. It is more his thing. So we're going to try reverting this one. I think it just played better. It was simpler. We'll go back to that.
I like this.
Yeah, me too.
I like Duct
some
Tape
tooltip
quite a bit.
fixes.
Yeah, and he's talking about the flavor of characters also, and I really liked that in the beginning of the game also. Like Dooley should be more the shield character. Yeah, I think I like that.
Some enchantment fixes. Ballista, I think we accidentally double buffed this last patch, is my guess. Like,
Wait, what?
like we had a note to buff it.
Dude, I mentioned this one, but maybe I should have mentioned it more,
Someone did, and then the note was still there, like buffed. I don't know, I'm guessing, but like, We're going to tone some of the numbers down in this. Should still be a super strong item.
But
Maybe
it's
too
fair
strong,
now.
but we'll see.
It's I think like reasonable.
Yeah.
In general, because like further down you will see they changed like some of the like more broken skills that enabled it quite a bit more. And since they get toned down and Ballista itself gets toned down, it is like it's still a strong item, don't get me wrong, but it feels reasonably strong now.
This one, wait, if they don't change Clarence, it's just strictly better than Clarence still, right? Like much, it looks like it at least, I don't know. I mean, it has charge.
It probably, I would say it's probably still stronger. I feel like, I mean, I don't know, maybe like, yeah, anyway. But I feel like Ballista is now a fair item a little bit. It was completely broken last patch, right? Let's be honest here. It was way too strong, and now it's more in line, and I feel like you can still play it. It's still a good item, but it's not the item that will always win you the game if you just have it to diamond and metronome and 2 skills.
Yeah, it still looks like super good though. Yeah, I think the way I phrased it when I saw this item on the test server, you know, was like Clarence and Ballista was kind of the same power, and now suddenly Ballista is like super strong, right? But I didn't. Yeah, maybe when we see stuff like this happen, yeah, we should call it out before, I guess, like more explicitly. I just said like, I saw that Ballista got a huge buff. How about Clarence? You know, that's what I said, but maybe I could.
Yeah.
The scaling is way lower, and the charge amount is going to be flat here. Although this is possibly still too high. Should maybe be a 1. We'll see. Blast door is getting.
Yeah, he said it. It should probably be a 1. Yeah, I think so. Like, if you want to balance Ballista, it has to be in line with Clarence, or you have to buff the Clarence, I would say. Like, else one item is just totally useless, and another one is obviously better. You know. So yeah.
I don't know. I have to
here
disagree there. To be fair, I feel like it's still like, if I remember like correctly, it's like an 8-second item. So you still need quite a decent amount of haste, and if you don't have like permanently like wait for the changes, but like if you don't have like you will not nearly have the continuous amount of haste output at the in this patch, and then at 1 second you maybe can do this, but then you also have to like change the cooldown of the item itself. Otherwise, I think like at 1 second, I'm not certain Ballista is like a good item, above average item at least at all.
Compared to Clarence, you would play Clarence instead of Ballista?
No, okay. It's not like I do not think about an item how it compares necessarily to another item, because there will always be a good and like better items and worse items.
Yeah.
I more compare it to, if I put this into perspective of how the game and matter is looking. Is this an item that will be on the board on average, or will you pick it up at least in between, or can you play around it, or is it an item, if you have it on the board, you're like more or less likely to lose? And if you put it to without cooldown changes to 1 second of charge, it is probably not scaling enough, and it is not proccing fast enough. Like, you have to change something to make it more powerful. Like, if you just put a one second of charge there, I think that item is probably below average and will not see play if you want to win.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, if we think that Ballista if it goes down to 1 second, it will probably not see play. Then we can also, in another word, say that everything that is worse than Ballista, for example, Clarence and a lot of other items, are blank cards, kind of. And I think that's an issue, like with balancing. So there's too many blank cards. There's too many cards that are totally useless, you know? So yeah, I think it's quite good to know balance by comparing other cards that are similar, that were similar at least. But yeah, if Ballista cannot even see play, then we know that suddenly this big pool of cards are totally worthless if Ballista is worthless, you know. So yeah, it's
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I think like they're like, okay, maybe for Chlorins it is true. I think for general thing, it's as more cards and more like combinations and combos are possible, it's starting to be in this niche situation this item is still good, and in this niche situation that item is good, you know.
Yeah.
So there's still like a lot of variance in. I don't think you can like necessarily fix it, and you have to admit that in your like average no combo board there will be like not every item can be equally powerful. You have
Yeah.
to just accept that there will be items that are not on the same power level as other items. So that there have to be like, for one item to be better, there has to be an item that is worse, right? And you
Yeah.
cannot achieve full equality. So you will have this problem always. And I think like the only approach there is to say, let's have like the least amount of blanks in the future, and also try to have niche combinations that enable those on average not so good items, and then make them valuable there for that reason.
Yeah, I agree. I think obviously there's gonna be a card that is better than another. It's just that the variance has to be smaller. Like it can't be Crescendo versus 20 other skills, and Crescendo is better. If like you can have 20 skills, or you can have one skill, and what the one skill is better than the 20.
Sure.
You know, it's like
Sure,
the variance is too big.
Yeah, the variance is too big. That is
Yeah.
not the part. But they tackled this patch quite good. Like I think like that is actually what the whole balance patch is doing.
Yeah, we'll see. Continue.
Especially in the early game, and the charge amounts going flat. So again, looking to make bronze items be more reasonable. That one should be quite powerful now. Let's see, we got some rays. I don't know about quite powerful. We'll see how it plays, but it's not too far off of like Life Preserver or whatever.
So the rays are staying the same. You just gain the ray type. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I do
Dinosaur
think,
and
by the
Onslaught
way,
game.
that is the
Dinosaur-
reason why Dooley will be very strong, because like especially the Alpha Ray, which is still kind of easy accessible, it was very dominant and it's untouched.
Yeah.
For type, talked about that one earlier. Solar Farm is tech now, has some number changes, the flat charge thing.
Wait. Is it good now? Wait. Let's go back a bit. Solar Farm gains tech type, haste your other items. Haste your other items for 1 to 3 seconds from 2 seconds. Okay. Gain regen, more regen on higher tiers. When you burn, charges 2 seconds from 1 to 3. So how was this before the change? It was
6
always
seconds.
2.
No. Like, it was
it
always
was 2.
2, but
Yeah.
the item was on 6, and now it's still
Yeah.
on 8.
Yeah.
So that is the one thing. The other thing is it kind of changed quite a bit how you play the Ignition Core, right? Because you are not as likely to find early your Omega Ray, and as well as and that is untouched, it's still silver, as well as you probably not run as many burn items as maybe before, because you cannot put like too many burn items in, because it's only the adjacent stuff with the Omega Array, and you cannot put like 4 items right off core, because then you're still too slow, even if you get like maybe then enough procs on the solar farm again. And then the whole idea crumbles, right? So I don't think, like, there will be niche cases where this is like probably the sweet spot. And I still think if you would not make it this way, Solar Farm was like probably way too strong. And also with like a lot of like skill like haste source reduction and like toning it down a little bit on the haste part. Otherwise, like, Solar Farm would be way too strong. But this way, I'm not certain it's like really good. I think it's just an average item that has like its potential if you have the right setup for it. And then it's still good, but it's not like you pick it up always kind of good if you're on the Ignition Core, of course. So I think it's okay. We will have to see how it turns out in the long run.
Yeah. It was like really good, and then it got like useless, and hopefully now it's like more close to the middle. Yeah.
Charge thing. Power drill, we'd like to see this one see in more play. So this one's going to be charging too. Hopefully it's enough to have it be good enough, but we'll see.
Yeah, power drill, dude. That was like a blank item. When I saw it, I didn't see it. You know, it's like you just.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if that is now good enough. I have no idea, to be honest. It's like maybe like it's maybe this you underestimate how much the increase of charges. Like we have like run into this mistake quite a bit, and then you see it on the board, and you'll be like, maybe this is good, and then wow, it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
So we have to see. But for now, the intuition, like, and I'm very, very want to put it out. I might be wrong completely and off there. It's still not looking good, but we all also underestimated pufferfish when the first charge change came, and you know how it went, right?
Yeah.
So let's wait until we have tested it on 2 runs, and then we can see if we're like off there.
Yeah. And
I mean, yeah,
more interesting at least. Well, we'll see.
yeah, it's an item you want to pick up and see how it feels now, right?
Yeah,
So
that's good.
I think like this is already a good direction.
Yeah, they basically buffed it by more than double, and now we're like maybe you can use it.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's still
we'll
like
see.
it's still like so I mean, it has like quite a lot more sources to charge, right? But it's still like if I remember correctly, a 10-second item. So it still like takes a little bit of stuff before it goes off, and then
Yeah.
with less haste, it's still like, charge mechanic was profiting quite a bit also from haste, right? It's improved a lot more than percentage wise from haste, I think. And when the haste is toning down, I'm not certain. But anyway, let's see. Like maybe the power drill meta is coming and we're sleeping on it.
Yeah.
Definitely a big buff there. Carl.
Oh shit, Carl. Yeah, nice.
Gonna be flat charging. Railgun is gonna key off of tech now rather than raise. So this is one of the few ways we're using the tag right out of the gate on this patch. So we'll see how that plays. Arc Blaster is also going to be keying off tech now instead of the core.
Like Arc Blaster,
Cool
like wait a
LEDs.
second, Claire.
Yeah.
Arc Blaster is kind of strong, especially early now, because it's like okay, it's not saying there. I think like last patch it was an 8-second cooldown, right? If I'm not correct, like on this patch right now, and I don't know. I remember it being 6 maybe. So that might be. I don't know if we're wrong there, but I don't know if it's missed in the patch notes or whatever. But it might be higher. And also like there are quite a few tech items. So Arc Blaster, especially like it's not an item that I think is necessarily in the late game the strongest, but it is a very, very nice still and probably even more powerful early and mid game item. Yeah,
right.
I liked it quite a bit.
Cool.
Good change. And you can see there the numbers. Just to be clear, when you were like, I don't know where we were about number changes. Oh yeah, the scaling of the crit, right? You were like, oh, now we get like double the amount of crit, but like look at an Arc Blaster. That is hitting quite a little bit harder now, like for a bronze item in general. Like 40 damage is a number.
Yeah, it was 40 already, and we don't see the 8-second going down to 6 here, so maybe it's still 8. Like staging can be like one version behind, right?
Yeah. To be fair, like I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. And also, I'm actually not sure how strong Vanessa is now, her shielding strats and stuff like that. But yeah, like if you fight for over 30 seconds that you did like in this patch, and then you also have crit on it now in the beginning, then it's even more shield, right? But we'll see.
Yeah, sure. We'll see.
Instead of the core. Cool LEDs, going to be staying mostly the same. That one is a little too good as just a passive. Hamlet, gonna have
Full
some.
LEDs are not the same, right? It's they like in comparison, they are not proccing when the core procs. So like double synergy, of course, is not available, as well as like every core proc is a usage or like a passive or whatever. It's just like a flat second of charge. So
Yeah.
I think it's just like putting cool LEDs online, and it like they were just way too strong, but they're like now not really remotely as strong as they were like this patch or the last patches.
Yeah. Maybe it's more
So
more balanced now. Like
it,
they try
it
to
is more
balance it, you know.
balanced. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like it is way more reasonable in
Yeah.
comparison.
Cooldown changes.
Hamlet, what? Hamlet buffed? No way.
It's going to be flat charge now. Makes it more reasonable at bronze. We'll see how it plays overall.
Maybe not.
Armadillo, Micro Dave, all go into flat charge amounts. Tesla coil is going to be tech now rather than a tool, and also it's going to charge for a flat amount. So we'll.
Yo, wait. We have to look at Tesla coil. Yeah. Reynard, chill. This is Dooley, okay? We have to look at it. Okay, let me see. Tesla coil. Actually, Microdave first. Microdave was a huge item. We can't just skip that either. So Microdave's burn goes up, but it only charges 1 now.
I mean, Microdave is okay-ish, but it's like more in line again. So like it's just like tuning down quite a bit on power level, but I think that is totally reasonable. If you have like a full board and you play Ignition Core, it's still reasonable to pick up or play in the mid game or early game.
Early mid, and then it's gone.
It's like it's exactly. But like I think it's more a reasonable item. I think it's I think it hits probably good the sweet spot of being strong but not too strong and not having up and downs. So good change there.
It's really cool, like, because I think we've had this answer many times now. We see a change and then we're like, oh, this is good early but bad late, so that makes it so that this game becomes a more pivoty game, right? Like you're changing your board a lot, so that's actually cool.
Yeah. I think like it by the way, where we like going to Tesla coil again, the same.
Yep.
Like a Tesla coil on day 2, 3 with 60 damage and 1 second of charge is still like a very good item. But since
now it's silver,
but since it's like 1 second of charge and it's not increasing the charge amount, obviously you might consider playing something else in the late game or like later mid game, because while like 30 damage extra on the Tesla coil is still something nice if you can afford it, it's still it's falling off in the late game. So you need to pivot more, and I think that is something that you said, Tash, that is pretty good. That you have like items that are reasonably strong, they're nice, they feel good, but they also have like their limits.
Yeah. So it actually says when you use an adjacent tech, charge an item. So you charge other stuff now. So this is a kind of support item now, huh? Instead of a damage dealer, and it's also started silver. So it charges your other items 1 second.
Okay, I honestly misread.
Yeah. Walter Cool said it in chat here. So when you use that's cool. Like it's totally different. Like it's totally a redesigned card, I would say. Like this is not the Tesla coil that we thought about before.
Okay, fair. I misread. That is on me. It's still like a 60 damage item. That is still like reasonable, but
but it's silver, so not
it's
bronze anymore.
and it's a different item. Sure.
Yeah.
My bad. My totally bad there. I was not fully paying attention, to be honest.
Yeah. For me, like when I just read it now, like after knowing all the info, the new info that we just got here, it looks like it's a silver item. So 60 damage on a silver item is probably not gonna be that much, and it doesn't charge itself, so it's not gonna be a damage item anymore. It's definitely gonna be a support item instead, I think. So like upgrading it probably doesn't make sense at all, because it's not gonna be a damage item. It's gonna be a support item. If you make use of it, I would say, because 60, 90, and 120 on a support item doesn't matter. Yeah, that looks cool. I don't know if we will use it, but yeah, that's cool. Totally new mechanic.
Yeah, I mean, I think like the problem here is for now I have like not a full list in my head about what items are tech, and
Yeah.
also it's probably something in the future when you have like more tech items and a broader pool and maybe some very crazy strong items, there's a lot more combo and synergy potential. So in general, I think that is exactly what you want to see for the future of the game.
Yeah. Now imagine if you have like really fast tech items beside Tesla Coil and you just charge the whole board like crazy. It's a cool item. We'll see.
We'll see how
Wait,
that
wait. Companion core is... Oh my
plays.
god. What?
So companion core, this core has just been generating too many haste triggers in general.
Damn.
Like you shouldn't have one item, especially one that you start with, that just generates, you know, infinite triggers of whatever
No.
without much other effort. Yep.
Yeah, wait. Like let's hear out Reynard's thought for a second.
This change should make it more reasonable. It should generate a lot of haste triggers, but not infinite anymore. And hopefully these haste numbers make sense. But yeah, it is still quite a bit of haste. Maybe it's just too high. We'll see. We're trying to not make the bronze version too much of a brick as well. So hopefully this change is reasonable. We'll see how it plays out. We also have more cores coming for Dooley in the future. So.
Okay, nice to know that there are more cores. That also makes Dooley probably more like less consistent, because at the moment you have like just a very small starting pool, right? But like I thought, like, I mean, I'm not Reynard, right? I don't have the data. I do miss quite a bit of informations and stuff, but for my personal intuition, and I thought about this quite a bit this morning, I think that change is an overkill. And the reason is the companion core has like a very strong flavor of playing friends that are on its own kind of slowish, right? Like a brick buddy without haste, I mean, it's still a nice brick buddy and early and stuff is pretty good. But like, if you remember like the discussion I had with Rarish about how brick buddy is like kind of too slow and susceptible to slow and has like a lot of downsides, and why like Rarish, for example, really hated playing brick buddy, even with the old companion core on day, like, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 onwards, was because he was like, this is just too slow. And now you take away kind of the synergy of the upside from the companion core, that you get like all your mediocre friends. Like, okay, Ballista was like an outreach. And you take the companion core like away the strength. I think the whole synergy of companion friend core is, I think it will be struggling quite a bit.
Yeah. Companion core looks like F tier right now,
I think
to be honest.
like companion core already had like some downsides, like in general. It was already like, sure, it had like it power outliers when you like hit like perfectly, but like companion core always like struggled more or less a little bit early, and then in the late game you also needed to find the pieces. So I don't like this change. Like it feels overkill to me. Maybe I'm wrong there. Like, I'm not saying that I know it, but it feels to me companion core at the moment will struggle, and either you change like the flavor how you play companion core quite a bit, but the friend companion core is, with this change for now, probably not like very strong anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like shit. That's my short version of it. Probably not gonna play companion core at all this patch.
Oh,
It
Tajsama,
looks
you're
super
muted
shit.
on
Oh,
Discord. Shit. I don't know if it's intentional.
Oh shit! Yeah, no. Thank you for telling me. All right, let's go next.
We'll see how that stacks up with the rest of them. Brick Buddy. is going to be just as good at bronze, but we want the scaling to be, not like 4x between tiers. He should be more of a good early game option, but won't necessarily scale with you your whole run anymore. Motherboard is going to be tech. A whole bunch of tech tags added. A whole bunch of tool tags removed on the items that we added tech to.
Wait. Okay, they say like, okay, gain the tech type. Like this, we see a lot of items with tech type now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's look through a little bit. Because we had Tesla coil, right? That charges stuff when an adjacent tech item is getting used. So that's cool. Tesla with the core, and suddenly the core becomes like a charging thing also. Cool.
So
Yeah.
I think like a few applications, like since you changed to pools there, the tool pool got like obviously a little bit reduced. I would like think in the future we will see like tech vendors like the
Yeah.
same as you have like for tools, and then you get more like agency because like it's like you can like a little bit more reliable search for stuff. And I think in general it's good that you have like at least a little bit of agency and can consider, okay, I can go here and I can maybe pick up this, and then I go there and maybe pick up this and so stuff. So I think it's pretty good. But for now, it's also like narrowing like down pools down, and that is in general something. If the pool is too small, you can more like force stuff again. So I don't know, like I have not thought about it and don't know whether that is now true and they're like broken stuff, but there's like always the issue you run. Also, we skipped like the Brick Buddy change. I think like Brick Buddy got like the positive Dave treatment, kinda, where Brick Buddy might be not good enough in the late game anymore, to carry you and outshield you on like, let's say, day 9 or something. But on the other side, it's like for day 1, 2, straight up a buff as far as I can see there.
Yeah. More
So
shield.
Brick Buddy is still kinda strong. And
Yeah.
can carry on its own quite a bit.
Yeah, when you have a small board, it's stronger. When you have a bigger board, with at least with companion core, it fucking sucks right now. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So far I'm not a fan of the companion core change, but maybe I'm wrong and it enables other combos, and then you just lose a little bit of the friend flavor. Anyway, I talked about that. Let's continue.
Yep.
Motherboard is going to be tech. A whole bunch of tech tags added.
Skip a bit.
Tech 2. Yeah, just more bit of a question, is this a tool or whatever, Aren't weapons just tools for murder? Other item changes. So Shiny Octopus is way better. We got a bunch of bugs getting fixed for multi-tool, Void Rays Array finally. Some of this flat charge changed to some of the items. Proboscis is reverted. This one felt more intuitive.
I want to read the oven mitts.
Okay. Haste more when you upgrade it. Shields more. Charges flat 2 instead of 1, 2, 3.
What is the cooldown of oven mitts at the moment? Like, if they don't say it, maybe they're not changing it, like in general.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
6 seconds. 6 seconds. Okay. And it's like haste an item though. Okay. Like, it's like,
looks still bad in my eyes, but yeah.
Yeah. Probably. I don't know. I want to see this. Also, nice revert on the proboscis. I think proboscis had like a little bit of issues last patch.
Proboscis is reverted. This one felt
Proboscis,
more
okay.
intuitive as just the passive.
You can say it in both ways. Like I think it's like 2 different accents or something. You know.
Okay, but anyway, like if Reynard says it's proboscis, right? if the king is speaking, the king is speaking.
Yeah, I think it's like like English accent, American accent, and stuff like that. Everything has like different ways of saying stuff, right? But yeah,
I'm not a native speaker in the first place, so
yeah,
I also have to learn, and I have just to take one.
yeah.
It was just a cleaner design, so we're just going to go back to that. Weather Machine is going to be tech now, although maybe that one should also be a tool still. We'll see. It is a tool for controlling weather in theory. Let's see, Neurotoxin is reverted. Cryo Sleeve, we're trying to buff it, change it up a little bit. We'll see how that plays. In Venom, so instead of charging, this one's going to scale its poison amount. We've gone ahead and updated skills, a bunch of them, so they should... So here's the thing, a bunch of skills were spitting out effects infinitely, like they would slow or shield or something an infinite amount of times, and it's probably just too strong in the current paradigm of the game to have any skill doing that, especially at most rarities. It just lets them become a part of a loop, like an item would, without taking an item slot. And the intent behind the game is for most of the outputs to be coming from items. We want it to be an item focused game, and the skills should be more...
Oh shit, wait, I missed Cryo Sleeve. Soulless wanted us to see Cryo Sleeve. Did you read that? I kind of just...
No,
Okay, let's see here. Yeah, me too. I saw Cryo Sleeve and I was like, okay, blank item. Okay, so cooldown 3 seconds, down from 6. Okay, it was 3 and then it went to 6 this patch, and then now it's back to 3, I think, or something like that. It was 3 before. Freeze this and adjacent items for 1 second. Oh, and adjacent, okay. When any item gains freeze, shield, okay, more shield. When one of your items gains freeze, reduce the duration by half. Oh! Okay, Cryo Sleeve is kind of like Rapid Thaw now. And shields a lot.
I mean, I'm
the new
not
Rapid
certain.
Thaw. The new Rapid Thaw, because it's gone.
But you're freezing this and adjacent item for a second, and
Yeah, it
even
becomes
though it
half,
says for
yeah.
2 seconds, but like 1 second, and then that is still there, and then you like, okay, maybe that is an item for like pick builds, okay? Maybe my Dooley mind is speaking here again, and I'm fully wrong there, but like, I don't know, like, even if you have like, instead of 2 1 second freezes all the time on your board, it's still like, it's for Dooley, it's kind of like, I wouldn't say the same, don't get me wrong there, but it's like, nah, I don't think it's a real item, at least in my Dooley mind. Prove me wrong in the future, but does not look good.
Yeah, I mean, it's an item that you can't... I mean, you can pick it up as a tech item, I guess, because you can find it kind of easily in Curio, right? So it would be a tech item that, if it is a freeze meta, then it could be good to like take it in versus characters that has to freeze a lot. So yeah, it's probably easier to get than Rapid Thaw was to get before, but now it's gone. So yeah, this is like a tech that, okay, this guy's gonna freeze me a lot, I'll put this in just for the freeze effect. Yeah, so it's kind of cool in that way.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Is reverted. Cryo Sleeve, we're trying to buff.
Oh wait, no Curio anymore, it's silver now. Okay, how are you gonna get it then? I mean, it's only a monster thing now then it's like even more rare than Rapid Thaw was this patch. And then, yeah, it's not a real item because of that. I mean, it's still a tech item, I would say.
I don't think it's a real item.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see how this playing out.
Plays. In Venom.
Yeah. Wait. think
No, it's like I was already like prepared for the skills.
Yep.
Or shield or something an infinite amount of times, and aim to have
A
any
bit.
skill doing that, a loop, the intent behind the game, and the skills should be more supplemental to those items. So we're going to be limiting a bunch of those effects, a bunch of the skills that we're spitting out an effect, to a limited number of uses now. It's still a lot of times, like 5-10 is still quite a bit for a bunch of these, so we'll see how that plays out. Adding a bunch of skills, use limiting a bunch of skills. Let us know how these play, because this is a lot of changes.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And we're eager for feedback.
You want to summarize this part for us, Matt,
changes.
after this?
Some of it is just, making stuff available at the right tiers. Some of it is just small nerfs. We'll see if
Phase crit by 100.
Okay, so one thing you skipped there is like the rapid thaw. The anti-freeze skill is out. So that is like a huge change because now
I talked about it a lot. Yeah, actually, I didn't skip it.
Okay.
While we were talking about cryo freeze, yeah.
Yeah. So freeze is kind of strong again. So that is like one thing to have in mind.
items. We want it to be an item focus.
Yep.
So there are still like some freezes that I think they're like really strong, but most freezes in the game got like kind of nerfed already. Like freeze enchantment is 1 second here and 1 second there, so that is reasonable now in general. And also like some skills like the coolant leak is like 1 second now and stuff. So that is like all those things are reasonable. But freeze is a more of a thing again. But I think in general, with like a few exceptions, in a good spot. The rest is like very few skills got like completely nerfed. Like invigorating cold is, for example, seems like a skill that is probably not worth picking up anymore, or feels like a little bit underwhelming. But
how did it change? Let's see. Invigorating. Okay, here. Start a silhouette here, and it's the first time you freeze each fight. It's 1, 2, 3. Haste 1, 2, 3 items for 2 seconds. Ah, okay.
So it's like not a lot of haste, but the general like so with exceptions that some skills got like a little bit, I would say overkill, but it was also okay on that part. The general idea is that skills just like trigger a few times, like 4 times and then later 8 times. And while like the diamond version of triggering 8 times is still like super strong, because 8 times is quite a lot, right? In general, especially like early, you tune down the power level of the skills itself. Like if you haste like only a few times or trigger a few times of a shield bash, it is like still strong. It gives you like an edge to start off the fight, but then it's like not, you can recover, right? It's not like insta dead. It's more like, okay, here there's like a power boost from the skill, and then it's not triggering anymore. And then if you're not dead, you can maybe recover or you can get your way. So it's more back and forth. And this means it's just like, it feels good. It feels good because it's like not, he has this skill and you lose. It's more like he has the skills, and sure, the skill is still powerful, but you have like agency, you can recover, you can build more about stuff. So it's just like in general, the approach that they changed here feels good, because I mean, I think it is going in the sweet spot direction of skills being meaningful and impactful, but they're not dominating the whole outcome of the fight in general. They just give you a boost that is just meaningful, and it is good. It's just like, it feels like a really good patch in general.
Yeah, I looked through here. Yeah, like most of the skills. Do you think like that's the change that they did on most of the things? I haven't read through all of these, obviously.
Yeah. It's on most things. It's like or like the new skills. It's like when you use your core, slow 5 times or whatever, right? Or like like 3 times, and this is like and for 2 seconds, for example. And that is like meaningful, right? Like if you get like a free like free without using board space, right? Like free 5 times 2 seconds slows in. That is impactful. That will impact the fight outcome, but it's not like you instantly your whole board will be perma slowed for the rest of the fight. It's just like you have like a little bit of slow here and there, but then it's gone. So this is like you have like more back and forth, and then if you have like a, I don't know, some sort of healing, scaling, shielding, whatever, you can recover, and then you can like get on the one foot, like you get like pushed back a little bit because maybe you do not have like an instant skill or like more of a backup skill, and it's more like back and forth stuff, and it's not like dominant. So that is pretty good. And also,
I think the I think the overall feel, just like a small thing. Overall feel is probably like skills are more like ammo items, probably like. The way you play
maybe
with ammo items on Vanessa is like you do the burst. If you don't have enough ammo, you're fucked because
it's not like
yeah,
it's not like you don't have the downside. You're like I mean, obviously you're like a little bit on the maybe in a not the best spot, but it's not like you're not doing anything, right? It's just like you get a small boost and then the boost is off. So that is pretty good.
Yeah.
And also what it means is there's less perma haste going out, right? It's just like the very dominant haste skills Dooley had for perma haste. You get a little bit of haste and then the haste is gone. So what it means is like in general the average fights, at least like I'm speaking a little bit more from a Dooley perspective, but like I think it's the overall tone. Fights are slowing down again, which means there is more decisions matter. Like if you have more health, it matters because they run out of the boost from the skill, and then it was good again. It feels good and rewarding again, maybe to consider chocolate again. And if you, I don't know, like want to run this setup or that setup, like there's a lot more viability because it's like not overbearing. If he has a shield bash, you're dead because whatever. It's more okay. Yeah, he has a shield bash, so well, it's a close fight now, but it's more reasonable. It feels just good. It feels good. I have to give it to them. That is, in general, that is a very good balance patch.
Yeah, it's a good Like some skills that were OP is not OP anymore. I'm thinking when they make this change right now, it kind of feels like if you look at build archetypes, right? You look at burst builds, you look at tank builds, you look at like those two are usually the normal ones that we talk about. So either slow builds or fast builds. Burst builds right now, they are not really affected by these changes that much because they probably kill. Like it's almost like having 100% skill uptime, because if you don't kill them in the beginning, you're not a burst build anyway. Like you're supposed to kill them, so you have like 100% skill uptime, and suddenly the other builds are actually the ones that is getting nerfed.
I would say there's like the small problem I can see that the Alpha Ray did not get any changes, because if you consider Alpha Ray as a burst build, maybe, but like
nah, I wouldn't consider it. Alpha
okay,
Ray,
yeah,
burst.
What is
when
the
I
burst
say
build
burst,
you have in mind?
when I'm saying burst, I mean like kill people in 5 seconds. Like Vanessa with ammo is a burst build. Like you don't want to fight for a long time, right? Because you have no ammo, so that's a burst build. Anything that kills people like really fast.
Okay, but like they were not overbearing at all. So maybe they do not get a change too much negative side on the changes from the skills, but I do not feel like burst is maybe I'm wrong here, but I feel like burst is not like overbearing here and in the next patch. I don't think your cannonball is getting like instantly winning your fights, and trebuchet is getting a little bit of slow down treatment. So I think it's it will be a healthy meta in general. I think
I'm not sure
yeah.
you understand me when I say burst. Burst. So if you think about all patches that we've had, burst has been king in all patches except for one patch, the long patch, the one where Dooley was dominating with Lizard. That was not a burst patch. Every other patch has been a burst patch. It's where you kill the opponent before the opponent kills you. It's not like a tanky meta would be where you outlast your opponent and the sandstorm is killing you, kind of, you know. So burst is like be the one who kills the opponent faster, you know. It's kind of like that. That's burst. So for example, for example, now like the best burst build that I found this meta is Treb with Keg. You can kill people in 1.6 seconds at the start of fight. So that's a burst build, for example.
Okay, I mean, maybe I lack the creativity at the moment, and I will prove them wrong. I don't think with the changes they attempted, like at least until the late game, there is too much burst going on. I mean, there's still like the one weapon builds from Vanessa that are not like really affected, but like I still think they are like rather the high roll outlier if you can get like your full one weapon burst Vanessa build. But other than that, I think with the changes and the less charge and stuff, like burst is okayish early, but like it's not overbearing. Like maybe I misunderstand you, but like I don't think this meta will be too bursty, and therefore there's a lot of agency and variety of builds.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's either gonna be usually if the meta is not burst, like if burst builds are too weak, so you can't kill people before they start scaling, you know, just before you reach that limit where okay, now I can't kill him anymore because he's scaling more than me, you know. If burst builds are weak, obviously it's gonna be a tank meta instead, or Pig will be stronger, you know, like more time. It's gonna take like 10 to 15 seconds instead to win fights instead of 5 seconds. And yeah, then it's not a burst meta anymore, I would say. But most of the times, every patch has been a burst meta. We'll see. Yeah,
I think we will see. I think like I think it's like a lot of sweet spotting where it depends just a little bit on what you get, and everything is kind of viable. Like I feel like this will be more. Everything is like not everything, but quite a bit will be viable. Though I fear Dooley is still like on the consistent end again, coming up top.
yeah,
because
with weapon, of course, because of Alpha. Yeah.
Yeah, or like in general, because if the matter, like I would predict we're slowing down quite a bit, in comparison again.
Yeah.
Or like you don't have infinite loops, but it's like in general, like, you know, fights are not over in after the, with few exceptions, after a few seconds. So you're playing in the middle ground game. Like it's not like everyone is going until like the sandstorm hits, but it's also like the fight is going a little bit back and forth and maybe taking 15 seconds, right? Or like 20 seconds. And then
I think if you are correct, if the meta is actually slower, like you say, I think Pig is gonna be king, because it's gonna be like 12-second fights then. Like whenever he gets to 12 seconds, he gets to Baltic cast something, and then it's done. And he's also really tanky, so yeah.
Dooley has scaling. Don't sleep on scaling. Burn is like in the sweet spot if there's like not too much shield going on. You often have like, if you have like your 10 to 20 seconds fights, you stack enough burn, and then you can win
burn
there.
Could be good, yeah.
Burn can be good again. Poison is maybe a little bit slow, but if there are like a lot of tanky builds coming up, poison is still like, I wouldn't say king, but like the counter, so that is still reasonable. And then you have like your weapon scaling stuff with Alpha Ray, like obviously Dooley Mind is speaking here, which is also kind of the middle ground, right? You're not popping off and killing your opponent with the first few hits, but you're scaling, you're doing stuff, and maybe you're getting over the line. But it's like back and forth, and I'm optimistic that this meta is actually giving you a lot of options and possibilities to play, and it's not like only one thing feels good and the rest is falling off, and one skill or like one item is needed to win games. So I feel like as long as you have variety and a decent amount of builds, the game feels good.
What do you think? Do you feel like the patch is like last patch, the long patch, during Christmas, in I would say in tempo? Like, do you think people will kill each other around the same amount of time? It will not be like a 1 second kill like in the early patches with knife. It will not be.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
more like back to the like last patch a little bit more. Like,
Yeah.
that's basically it. So but like hopefully a little bit more balanced. So basically like the patch before this patch, but more variety and balance.
Yeah. Okay.
That is what I think, though not certain.
Yeah, we're just
that-
guessing, obviously.
Yeah,
I'm a burst player, so I will always like look out for the burst builds because they are always king if you can get them consistently. Because they just kill everyone before other people can do anything. So I will look out for that for sure. Hopefully it is a meta where you can do everything. You can do like a slow pig build. You can also do a like burn, stacking up burn, and it works. Hopefully you can stack up poison and it works. Hopefully you can like deal enough damage before people kills, but not always, and stuff like that. Hopefully it has everything in it, right? But we'll see. It's hard to balance like that, yeah.
And I also think it's more a little bit more with the Reynard's idea with going with the flow. That you start with this, and like I think like this patch will have us, especially early and mid game, quite a lot of decent items. Like randomly you can start with a, let's say, a snake and some other items that are just like decently, and then you go into and find a brick body on day 2 or 3, and then you're good, and then in the long run you pivot again, and maybe, I don't know, you play the core and you get like maybe even a force field working, or you go and play something else. I feel like this will be a lot more agency and pivoting around, because there's a lot of reasonably good stuff. At least that is what I hope for. I don't know if there are like some items that are, just like so overbearing, you just always pick them and they just go and win. But I don't see them yet to be that dominant. And then you have like a lot of everything is viable kind of stuff. Like not everything, but like quite a bit. And I'm very optimistic about this patch. I have to be honest.
Yeah. It definitely looks like a balanced patch, while the other one was like just go ham, This is
and testing stuff and bringing it out and stuff. And this is like I'm not certain, but it's like, it's after the first few patches where they, I don't know, changed mechanics, fixed internal cooldowns and stuff. Now we get like after the first settlement and second experiment, another like very grounding balance patch, I would say, like even it out a little bit. And if my optimism is right, I think we're like having a good few weeks ahead of us.
Yeah. So your prediction is Dooley is still gonna be on top, right?
Yeah. Like at least for consistency. Like it's not like I don't think necessarily Dooley needs to be OP, but Dooley has quite a few good items still in its pocket for early. Dooley has still like decent scaling, and I think like just the consistency of Dooley might be the key there. But I do think the other builds are viable.
Yeah,
and the other heroes.
Yeah, I think the most interesting thing that I see here is on a hero that I don't play, and that's Pig. Fort is such a cool way of doing the design right now. It adds like a new way of playing the game, kind of, and yeah, I think that was super cool from this patch note. yeah, the rest we'll just test out and we'll see.
We
Do you
will
have
see.
any
I mean, in a
favorites?
couple days.
Yep.
Favorite?
Have any last?
You mean?
Yeah.
I'm a very like. I'm very happy I can play the game again. It works
Yeah.
flawlessly on my PC. I'm very
Nice.
happy that I got like stage server access and can like test out stuff and
congrats,
give
man.
feedback. So that is like made me really happy. I will stream when the patch goes live. Also for those who are interested, I will stream also like the next week or weeks quite a bit daily, hopefully.
Are you gonna do
and
on your alt unranked?
yeah.
later?
I will play ranked on the alt
Yeah, I was
until
thinking the
like
same, yeah.
probably ladder reset is coming in early February, and then we will try to defend. Like I will try to defend rank 1, obviously, in the new like ladder system. Quite looking also forward to that.
Yeah.
Because in general, I don't like the conceding. Like it's part of how it is now, but it's not something that I think is.
Yeah, no one likes it. I think.
I mean, to be fair, it's I don't think it is like I was like surprised they like fixed it this early. Because Rainer was like, yeah, we'll fix it in the future, and I was like, okay, maybe that is the future is like further down the road, but I'm still happy that they're doing it. So I think like it's pretty nice that we get it. So
I
I'm
have one
looking
more
really
question for
forward.
you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you thought about it, but how are you gonna balance like being top 1 on the ladder and also content creation? Because your content creation angle is playing kind of, or at least what you have done is playing kind of slow and teaching people, right? But then you will not have, if you stream a lot, then you will not have time to actually climb the ladder, right? So are you gonna change your content creation direction like after the ladder reset? Or are you gonna like stream less? What are you gonna do?
I mean, the thing is, except for like 2 weeks in February, where there's like a daily 3 hours work I have to attend, there is no real strong obligations I have. So I can still stream 6 hours, and then I can go ham for another 10 hours offline. Off stream and just jam games. So don't you worry about this. So I can still do the content creation I do, and probably will not change too much about it. But I can still like if I want to go 10 hours ham on the ladder each day with ease, and then that should still be at least good enough on the playtime. And I hope that win rate is also kind of at least mattering a little bit. So it's not like only who can grind the most amount of hours. I don't know how if that is ever the case where it's like just who can grind 18 hours a day straight without a break. I mean, sure, maybe I'm losing out then, but I mean, there are not too many people that can and will do this like over weeks and weeks over. So and maybe we will see. You know.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, man. I'll just talk to chat a little bit in the end here. You had anything else, or you good?
No. Thank you. Thank you for having me here. I generally enjoy our talks. Thank you for having me here. Man. And we can see whether we do like another small talk about how the meta develops in a couple days. Maybe people are interested, and also you can obviously upload whatever you want. Have no issues with that. So thank you for having me here.
Yeah, thanks for coming. See you, man. All right, so let's see here. In the fixes at the end of the video, it states you will now be able to see your opponent's ranks. What are your thoughts on this? Will it affect how you set up board? Probably. Yeah, the thing is, it's definitely info. It's definitely good info. Knowing the rank of your opponent is really good info. For example, in this patch right now, with this current system that we have right now, it's good info to know if your opponent is a legend player or not. So you can actually do that right now, right? So you can go into the ladder homepage. You can search for your opponent's name. You can see if he's a legend player or not, and you will kind of know if he's strong or not. So yeah, that will be a thing where everyone can do that now. like they understand like, okay, my opponent is strong or weak. But there could also be, so if there's like a low ranked player with a lot of wins, you know that guy has he's like high rolling out of his mind, you know. So yeah, in the system in the future though, where maybe most likely you will not be able to like just concede to do stuff, then maybe it doesn't really matter as much. You would maybe take a little bit here and there, but yeah, it's hard to predict what will happen in the future, right? Don't you see a rank the second you start a fight and not earlier? Right now you can see the rank before, but it's wait. No, you can't. Yeah, right now you can't see the rank right before. You see it on the loading screen, but maybe they will make it so you can see it. I don't know if they will make it so you can see it before. But then the thing that I talked about before is still good. You can use like ladder websites to know where what type of player they are. That and you can if their levels and their scores are fixed so that they actually show real values, you know, then that's really good info also, right? Okay. All right, guys. This was supposed to be like a really short stream. It ended up being like 2 hours almost. But yeah, it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna chill a bit and then we'll stream again at the normal time, you know. I will also upload a YouTube video. I don't think it's uploaded yet. We're supposed to upload it much earlier actually, but you know, just because of my stream got a little bit late here. So yeah, after the end of this stream, I'll upload a YouTube video so you guys can look at that. And I'll see you guys in less than 3 hours. I usually start at 8 p.m., right? So hopefully the game is almost up then. Else we'll chill with you guys before the game comes up. All right. See ya. I can finally raid Raresh, dude. Oh man. Angelo, go into my Discord and there's all the links there. Get into my Discord, man.